All right, we're a couple months away from the Republican convention, the bulk of which was moved to Jacksonville, Florida, because North Carolina's Democratic Governor Roy Cooper refused to ease up on the COVID-19 restrictions. But now, with the recent spikes in Florida's confirmed cases, Republican Senator, and he was their former governor, Rick Scott, has come out with a similar request. In a recent interview, Senator Scott demanded social distancing en masse for Republican National Convention goers, emphasizing that they're, quote, going to have to figure out how to do this to keep people safe. So what do people in Florida think about this latest development? Joining us now is former Florida Attorney General and former Special Advisor to President Trump, Pam Bondi. Pam, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Hey, before I get to Florida, and I want to talk about the convention in a second, what's happening there on the ground. As a former impeachment manager, seeing what you saw today with these notes coming out that show Strzok wrote down VP Logan Act. We just had KT McFarland on. She said the only person who would have known about the Logan Act was Biden himself. And this clearly shows that he was lying when he was on ABC and said he had no idea what was going on.
Absolutely. And I've never doubted that. Obama knew, Biden knew, they all knew. This was a conspiracy. And for him originally to say he didn't know anything about it makes no sense, because this isn't your average citizen they're going after. This is the president-elect of the United States of America. This is the incoming national security advisor. So yeah, this was handled at all the highest levels. And you know, Mike Flynn, I will always say this, he was collateral damage for supporting our great president. They went after President Trump. They tried to fix an election. They couldn't do it. We won anyway. So then they tried to start taking out the people around him. Does it surprise me? No, because as you said, Sean, I sat through those impeachment hearings.
Yeah, I know.
So nothing would surprise me about how dirty and evil they could be to try to take over our country.
All right.
Well, Pam,
yeah, I agree with that, and I appreciate you waiting, because I know you were part of the key person that, you know, in that impeachment trial that made sure that the president's side was taken.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, Pam, switching back to convention, you know, it's so interesting. The reason everything switched to Jacksonville, Florida was because, like Sean mentioned, that in Charlotte, it just couldn't happen because of the restrictions of COVID-19. But now I want to show you a recent poll taken by the University of Northern Florida by Jacksonville residents that says 58% of them are opposed to convention actually being there, only 42% supporting it. And like I said, Senator Rick Scott coming out saying masks will have to be used. Do you think this is going to become a bigger issue? And now that all of it's moved, there might be even more concerns to restricting this. I know the DNC has asked delegates not to come.
Well, I'm thrilled that it's taking place in Florida. And Rick Scott is one of my dearest friends. You know, he was governor when I was attorney general. Do I think masks need to be provided? Absolutely. Social distancing? Yes. Hand sanitizer? Yes. I know Mayor Lenny Curry very, very well. He's going to do a great job. And frankly, I feel safer now that it's in Jacksonville than when it was going to be in North Carolina. So I feel so much safer that it's in my great state. We know how to handle a convention. We had one in Tampa, my hometown, which I spoke at. And, you know, Jacksonville it's a large county, Duval County. So that's a really great thing. There are 22 miles of beautiful sandy beaches, the largest park system in our country, believe it or not, in Jacksonville. And, you know,
well,
right.
looks like
we
we lost
lost
Pam.
her.
We had some technical difficulties. It's interesting, Lindsay, because one of the other things that came out of that poll was that the number one concern of the people going to, or the Jacksonville residents, right, was obviously the spread of COVID-19. But the other thing that they really brought up was the concern over social unrest. And I think that was interesting. I was shocked. Obviously, the spread of COVID-19 makes sense, but this concern about social unrest is not something we I anticipated.
Yeah, that's definitely a shocking number.
Pam, I was just saying to Lindsay that in that same poll that we talked to you about, they asked voters in Jacksonville what the biggest concern was. 71% said COVID-19. Well, that makes sense. But then 65% said that they had concern about social unrest. Does that shock you at all? And what do you think? What do you make of that?
You know, it doesn't, because I was in Tulsa with the president for the rally, and I think a lot of people did not come to the rally because of the threats of violence and the social unrest. But you know what? In Florida, we do things differently. With Governor DeSantis, with Mayor Curry, we are going to be prepared. People will be safe in Florida. And again, I'm thrilled that the convention is coming to Jacksonville. We're going to do a great job. It's going to be safe. Jacksonville2020.com. Can't wait. And it's 2 months away.
Yeah.
So a lot can happen in 2 months in a very good way to bring peace back, and hopefully the COVID numbers will be much lower too. But it's going to bring, hundreds of jobs, tens of thousands of dollars into our local economy, and that's what Florida needs right now.
Pam, I know you're from Tampa, but I think Jacksonville should hire you as their new spokesperson and PR rep because you do a fabulous job of promoting Jacksonville in the convention.
I love Jacksonville.
I can tell. All right. Well, thank you, and we look forward to having you back soon.
Thank you.
All right, well, coming up, speaking of the GOP, they're making an effort to help more women get elected to office. And up next, we're going to talk to New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik on the effort she is leading. And later, we're less than 6 months from the November presidential election, and the win for the White House could come down to one issue. It's still the economy, stupid. So let's see where it's headed. All that and more.